So cricket has returned in a great way as the West Indies upset England in the opening test at Southampton. So the first day was a really historic day as cricket would finally return after 4 months. And every fan was looking forward to that. But unfortunately, British weather delayed the start of the test match. So when the test match was starting, every cricketer put a knee down to support Black Lives Matter. But apart from that, the British weather was pretty bad throughout the day as England just managed to play 17.4 overs, scoring 35 runs for 1 wicket. Shannon Gabriel got Dom Sibley out for a duck, and that was pretty much all for the highlights in the first day. The second day would be more interesting, hopefully, and the weather wasn't the best again, but it was much better than day one, though it was pretty bad for England as they collapsed to 204 all out, with Shannon Gabriel taking 4 wickets and Jason Holder, the star of the show, with 6 wickets in his name. Apart from that, the Windies scored 57 for 1 with Craig Brathwaite and Hope seeing off a great spell from Jimmy Anderson with swing. And it was clearly a day for West Indies as England had a pretty bad collapse with their batting. Day 3 was mainly about West Indies' batting, with West Indies scoring 318 all out, with Craig Brathwaite and Shane Dowrich starting with 60s each. And apart from that, England's Dom Sibley and Rory Burns had to see off Roach and Shannon Gabriel, and they did it pretty well. And the next day, they got an opening partnership of 72 before Rory Burns couldn't get a start to a huge score with scoring 42. That's a problem what England has to look to. Apart from that, Dom Sibley scored a 164 ball 50, yet fighting 50, and that innings was pretty good. And apart from that, Zach Crawley was the star with scoring 78, with Ben Stokes scoring 46. But the turning point was when Ben Stokes was out to Jason Holder. There was a collapse, with mainly Shannon Gabriel and then Alzari Joseph taking the wickets, and England managed 313 all out, with Jofra Archer scoring 23. So day 5, the West Indies required 200 runs to win. It was a pretty interesting game at first, with the Englishmen reducing West Indies to 27 for 3, and it was a pretty tough position for them. Before Roston Chase's valuable 37 and Blackwood's great innings got them to 100 for 3 before Jofra Archer took the wicket. And then apart from that, Blackwood made the English bowlers toil, with him scoring 95, just 5 runs short of 100, and Dowrich and Holder also playing well. Apart from that, this was pretty much the story of the test match.
So now let's talk about game changers that took place in this game.
So let's go by order. So let's talk about Shannon Gabriel. He bowled brilliantly and he dismissed Rory Burns, Dom Sibley and Joe Denley and reduced the Englishmen to a very low score at the beginning. And that led to the start for the West Indians. And that helped them bowl well and eventually bundled them up for 204. The second game changer is Holder breaking the Stokes and Butler partnership and taking 6 wickets. So the Stokes and Butler partnership was looking pretty good, with both of them looking well set, and both of them are the danger men for England. So that was pretty good of Holder. Then third is the second innings. Holder breaks the partnership of Stokes and Crawley. That is definitely one of the biggest game changers, as they were easily batting the Englishmen. And if they continued on, England would have got a lead of maybe 280, and then by the time that happened, the West Indies would have lost this game. So that is one. And the last is probably Blackwood's 95. He rode his luck in the beginning, but he eventually scored a brilliant knock of 95, and he's come back to form. and he is a good number 5 for the West Indies in the Test match.
And at last, let's talk about things to watch out for in this game.
So the second test is going to be a desperate test for England, as they have to badly win this test match if they want to stay alive in the series. And Joe Root is set to return as captain, and I'm sure he is going to fight back, as he will get more depth in the batting order. I think Joe Denley might miss out because Zach Crowley had a decent game. So that's one. And then two, the West Indians have obviously got a great victory, but the second and third test are still crucial for them because the points are counting in the Test Championship. And definitely the West Indians are not done yet and they have to keep the consistency. So that's pretty much all for the video. If you like the video, please like and do subscribe and share the video.